Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a slow, long breath of gratitude. As you breathe in that gratitude, feel it ripple from that inward breath to every cell in your body. And as you exhale, completely relax your eyelids and just feel that tension is leaving your body in that outward breath. And the deeper you breathe, the more grateful you feel. And the longer you exhale, the more that even echoes of stress, tension, doubts and fears just start to leave your body in that outward breath. And the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. And I wonder where you'll notice that deep feeling of relaxation first. Maybe the jaw, maybe around your nostrils as you breathe in and breathe out. Maybe the neck, the shoulders, as you just feel a wonderful sensation of release. As your body relaxes, your imagination awakens. And I want you to imagine an antique globe. Maybe the kind of globe that would be on an axis, perhaps made of brass. Maybe it's a heavy globe at an angle. And just imagine the texture of that globe as you gently move the globe around until you start looking at the continent of South America. I want you to shift your eyes to the north of that continent and to notice tiny, tiny islands just off the coast. I want you to think of a specific island close to a barrier reef. Not the Australian Great Barrier Reef, but the barrier reef of Belize. And you could look at that tiny island there on that globe and start to imagine you are floating down from the sky above, gently drifting down to a remote island, perhaps just a sandbank off the coast of Belize, and perhaps even being able to see the outline of the reef below the seawater. And when it feels like you can imagine touching down on that sandbank there by the reef, let me know by nodding your head. And of course, this is just your imagination. And in your imagination, not only can you float down from the sky, but you can breathe deep underwater. So just imagine you're wearing whatever clothing you would want to wear to explore the reef below. and then submerge yourself in the water. I want you to feel the temperature of the water is enhancing your alertness and is conducive to health. And like any temperature, your body adapts and adjusts until it feels completely normal. I want you to imagine not only can you breathe underwater, but you can see perfectly underwater. I want you to imagine you're seeing the reef in all its glory, the bright colors. I want you to see the reef as a self-cleansing ecosystem. But when there is a problem in the reef itself adapts. I want you to imagine there is a part of the reef that became calcified. It almost seemed like it was fossilized. No longer the bright colors of the reef, but almost more looking like stone. But I want you to imagine that the ecosystem of the reef naturally adapts, and that part of the reef simply breaks off, keeping the ecosystem of the reef healthy and safe. Imagine seeing beautiful fish. But I want you to imagine seeing a sea mammal, maybe a porpoise, maybe a dolphin or a whale. Explore the reef. And I want you to imagine that an accident takes place, that calcified coral has become lodged and stuck, perhaps in the blowhole of that dolphin or whale. I want you to feel that it can't be lodged out, it can't be pulled out. So I want you to feel an urge to help. And I want you to imagine, for some reason, in one of your pockets or one of your hands is vinegar. And I want you to imagine that even in the water, there is enough of that vinegar to dissolve most, if not all, of that calcified coral. And then imagine that you have a lemon or a lime. And in what remains of the coral, just imagine squeezing that lemon or lime so that the citric acid directly touches the calcified coral. Seeing the calcified coral melt away just enough for what remains of the coral to be dislodged. See the gratitude of the sea mammal, perhaps even smiling, as it returns to the surface to get air and comes back down again. And experience the gratitude of that sea mammal, that the calcification was a problem and then no longer a problem. The sea mammal is so grateful it wants to show you something. So imagine holding on to that sea mammal, maybe by the fin, as it guides you deep towards an underwater cave. But this underwater cave has a pocket of air. And just imagine that you are now in a sea cave. And just imagine there are creatures in the sea cave that emit light. They have that bioluminescent light, meaning you can see there in the sea cave. And that there is a way to the surface. There is a hole that takes you all the way back to that sandbank. But the passageway is blocked with a stalactite and a stalagmite. Almost like two teeth, one at the top, one at the bottom, creating a block. And the only way through is to get through that calcified barrier. But again, I want you to imagine calcium dissolves with acids. And imagine that you have more of that apple cider vinegar and fresh citrus fruits. Just imagine using a combination of those citrus fruits and vinegar to dissolve the stalactite until there is sufficient space for the passageway to be navigated through. And when you imagine it dissolving, melting away, and that you go through the passageway and find yourself back there on the sandbank, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to feel that you've been on a journey to a reef, helping a mammal in need, and that the mammal took you to the cave, not to trap you, but to set you free. To know that sometimes a blockage or a barrier is not permanent. It's just a temporary reflection of a situation. Something that can be changed and altered through choices. How you think, how you feel, and what you do. To feel an equal level of gratitude for that sea mammal. And feel that things are already starting to change. As you imagine deciding that while you're there on that sandbank, you might as well soak up some vitamin D. As you lie there in the sun, feeling a wonderful sensation that your body is becoming healthier. And while you're there, with your eyes closed on the sandbank, soaking up the vitamin D, your mind is open to powerful suggestions. And I want you to think of calcification somewhere in your body that you don't want anymore. And as you relax deeply, imagine the calcification melting away, becoming softer and softer with every breath you take. Feel the warmth of healing energy flowing through that location, dissolving any blockages and restoring balance to your body. And I wonder what would happen if every time you drink apple cider vinegar, you consider it a powerful elixir, helping to dissolve the calcification completely. Visualize the citrus fruits you eat: lemons, limes, grapefruit, as powerful tools. Each bite breaking down and eliminating calcifications in your body. And as you breathe in and out, notice how your body eagerly absorbs the benefits of these fruits, transforming them into the energy that melts away any and all calcifications. And maybe there's growing motivation to eat the best quality citrus fruits you know, knowing that they help in your body's decalcification process. And maybe you can imagine the nourishing foods rich in vitamin K2 as allies, guiding calcium to where it belongs, strengthening your teeth and bones, and taking away calcium from any places it doesn't need to be. Every time you drink fresh, clean water, you have that deep sense of hydration, flushing out toxins and softening any hardened areas within your body. And maybe every time you consume those omega-3 rich foods like flax seeds and walnuts, you can feel them working at a cellular level, promoting fluidity and health, perhaps in ducts, in arteries, or even in kidneys. And every now and then, when you consume those magnesium-rich foods that support your body, enhancing its natural ability to break down and eliminate unnecessary calcifications, it encourages you to eat even more of those magnesium-rich foods. You've seen changes already in your body that give you enough evidence to know that your body can and does adapt. And you can know with certainty that your body has all the tools it needs to dissolve the calcification. And you are providing it with everything it requires. Feel your confidence growing as you trust in your body's ability to heal and restore. And imagine the part of your body that you want to return back to normal. As you imagine it happening like a time-lapse photography, see progress over days, weeks and months, happening in just seconds. With each passing day, visualize the calcification shrinking, becoming less and less significant until it disappears completely. So take a deep breath in and imagine you're breathing in a gentle wave of healing energy and feel it flowing through you, washing away and melting away any calcifications, and especially leaving any calcified ducts clear and free. As you focus on healthy habits, feel that your unconscious has an intention and commitment to decalcification. And you can help that along with every healthy choice you make. And imagine a specific blockage in your body starting to open, to clear. Blockages become small pathways and then bigger and bigger. Imagine shapes changing. Feel it isn't just possible, it's inevitable. As you experience a profound sense of well-being, knowing that you are working in harmony, your conscious choices empowering your unconscious to take you toward better health, equilibrium and balance in your body. That every time you choose foods rich in citric acid, K2, omega-3 and magnesium, you are actively participating in the decalcification of your body. You feel even more empowered to take control of your health, knowing that with each healthy habit, you are one step closer to completely dissolving the calcification. You do your part, your body will do the rest, as you trust in the process, knowing that your body is resilient and capable of healing, and that soon the calcification will be nothing more than a distant memory. Imagine the progress is already taking place. As you feel your body floating up from that sandbank, up into the sky, and before you realize, you're staring into a globe, spinning it around, seeing continents and oceans, as it's time now to return to the present moment. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken the most healthy, empowered, optimistic version of you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.